Welcome to Off the Roster, brought to you by our founding partner, ProLine. Betting on ProLine is now easier than ever with their new app. Download it today and make things interesting. That's Dan Riccio. I'm Lindsay Dunn. That is our buddy Cabbie. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We have a three-time Stanley Cup champion. I'm going to say 12
Three-time.
Three-time. I get so excited sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing with myself. But we're going to start off with the Raptors. Now have lost 12 in a row to the New York Knicks. Not 12 in a row this season, just 12 in a row to the New York Knicks. And I understand people are upset. There's still 9 games above 500. I think at the beginning of the season, if anybody was like, hey, there were 9 games above 500 in early March, would you want that? Yes, please. But they definitely got handled a little bit by the Knicks. Here's what Jakob Poeltl had to say.
But yeah, I mean, it's another learning experience for us to be better in those situations. They're a team that has playoff experience and stuff like that, so they're used to these kind of situations, and I feel like we're getting there, but we're obviously not on that level yet. So we got some catching up to do.
Not on that level.
Facts. Yeah.
Straight facts from Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty from him. And hey, it could be worse. The 76ers were held to 11 points in the third quarter yesterday. So I'm going to take the small victory of them being held to less points in a quarter than the Raptors. But yesterday was brought up in the chat. Darko Rajakovic. Coach Darko, is any of this to be put on Coach? And I said I would wait till today, until we had more time, to let you discuss whether or not you think some of this blame should be put on Darko for sometimes their either lack of physicality, which, yes, I know CMB was down. They were really in it until that fourth. But what do you take on the narrative around Darko right now?
So at some point, it's like, learning experience, but we've heard it a lot. And you look at all these games against the Knicks, they've lost by at least 16 points in all 4 games against the Knicks. The average loss is 20 points against the Knicks for the Raptors this year. Their record against teams that are above them in the standings, 4-16 now. And really that looks more flattering than it is because of the 3 wins they had early in the season against Cleveland, as we've talked about so often. But my biggest issue here is that, it's the same storyline. The same script seems to play out almost every single time out, in that you get to the fourth quarter, it's close, and then the other team, the better team, starts to pull away. The Raptors offense just gets completely shut down. They lose their composure, and we talk about it as a learning experience. There's got to be a point where we're not happy to be here anymore, and you've got to raise your expectation levels of what this team is, and they've done that. They deserve some applause for that, but I'm still waiting to see more progress from this team, Cap.
It was those are fair points, Dan, and fair observations. And I'm just surprised. I really thought that Toronto was going to win that game. When Toronto was up 95-93, playing well, RJ 4 for 5 in the fourth quarter with 9 points. It's like, okay, this dude's cooking. He plays well against his former team. And just New York has another gear, and Detroit has another gear, and Cleveland with the addition of James Harden. Like they're and then Boston, whatever Boston's going to look like when when Jason Tatum returns, like those are obviously the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and Toronto is a tier below. But I was just surprised, bro. Like some of New York's shots were so ugly, but they went down. Cat had this ugly jumper in the paint that fell, and Jalen Brunson, same thing. It was just there were times where, as a fan, you would think that a timeout should be called. Let's just regroup. Let's just take a beat. But Darko obviously has confidence in his players, and confidence, like, guys, work through this. Phil Jackson used to do that. He would not be quick to call a timeout. I mean, I'm not comparing Darko Rajakovic to Phil Jackson, just a similar philosophy. Like, let the players work it out. And evidently we saw that yesterday in the fourth quarter, and New York just goes on this incredible 16-2 run to end the game, and it was just a wrap. I also thought early in the first half there were some contact plays. There was, Jalen Brunson jams his, like Jamal Shed reaches in to steal the ball. Jalen Brunson jams his right hand, not his shooting hand. There was another moment where Josh Hart gets, he's competing for a rebound, just gets like elbowed in the ribs. I was like, okay, are these guys going to be available in the fourth quarter? They played, but I thought there was like the physicality, which we were talking about yesterday and we discussed already, like that. New York is a very physical team, and Toronto missing Colin Murray-Boyles, certainly we noticed because he's a really tough young player. Again, my overall thought is I'm just surprised that the Toronto didn't just get beat, but just got beat bad in the fourth quarter when the game was hanging in the balance. And I want to say it was 95-93 Toronto with about 6-7 minutes left in the game. So
They were in it.
it's just, I don't know, Lindsay. I mean, you were there, so I don't know if the energy was just sucked out of the building or you could see some body language stuff happening on the sideline. What was your read as to why the Raptors just gave away that game last night?
It is my fault why they gave it away. I'll tell you guys this right now. We are going to make it about me because I'm also the reason the Leafs have such a crappy season. I did not cover the first half of the Toronto Maple Leaf season, or like the first month and change, because I was on the World Series run following the Toronto Blue Jays, and they were terrible. This is the first season in about 9 years I haven't been there to cover Leafs Nation fully for a season, and look how that goes. The Raptors were winning. I had to leave the game early yesterday, guys.
Oh,
to
no.
go back home, and I get home, and then it's like
All
the
right,
final
you are to
couple of
blame.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's me to blame. and
It
they're
is on
losing.
you. That's on you.
That is the only reason that they lost. No, I'm kidding, but it's just we've seen this time and time again. We talk about the physicality, their lack of offensive toughness, and it makes me actually a little nervous when we talk about the dance of the playoffs.
Oh boy.
Celtics,
Yeah.
Pistons,
Cavs, Knicks.
like Knicks. They are, and we brought it up yesterday, there's a bit of a bully ball, and the Raptors, and Jakob's even saying this, they don't have that right now. And at some points, he's even mentioned, like I'm paraphrasing him, how they seem like they can be lost for a moment. And then, he says, you can tell when the game is slipping away, but they need that offensive toughness because I don't think they're going to be able to dance the dance in the playoffs. I think they would get absolutely annihilated when it comes to physicality because we're not even at the playoffs. And it's happening. Like, I have faith in this team.
Yep.
There's so many positive moments, but they're really struggling. And I know that's basically what we're all saying besides I'm the reason they lost.
Well, this is, again, where yeah, it's your fault. Nobody else's but Lindsay's. This is where it comes back to Darko, right? Like, again, this has been happening all season long, and the 13 points in the fourth quarter, BI after the game is saying, it seems like other teams, late in it, they know where they're going, and sometimes it feels like we don't know where we're going with the ball. And it's, pretty apparent. Like the last 5 minutes of that game was an abomination of basketball. It was so bad from the Raptors, and they just looked like they had zero plan. And it's felt that way so often in these fourth quarter games where they have to get into their half court offense. And if there's no play to BI, they don't know where to go with the ball. BI had 26 in the first half. 26. They found ways to get him away from OG. They found ways to get him open and get him his looks in the first half. And then he had 5 points for the rest of the game after that. He had 2, I think, in the fourth quarter. So once the Knicks found a way to make that adjustment and make sure that they were on BI, the Raptors did not have a counterpoint. Some of that is the talent of this team. The bench hasn't come around as scoring options as I'm sure the front office has hoped that they would. We've talked about it all year with guys like Walter and Grady Dick and some of those wings that are supposed to spread the floor. Haven't been able to do that. Those guys are getting 1 minute a game now if you're Grady Dick. So it's really like there's a combination of issues of talent here that still needs to be part of the process for a rebuilding team. But also Darko's got to show some progress in how he adjusts to what teams are throwing at the Raptors. And to me, that's the biggest and scariest part of a playoff series is, when you're going in game after game against the same team, they are going to pick your weaknesses apart. And teams already seem to know how to pick the Raptors apart when it gets down to it in games. And we've got a whole season's worth of evidence that they're struggling to find adjustments. And at some point, that lands on the coach's doorstep.
You mentioned playoffs. There was a graphic towards the end of the game, and it showed Toronto's active losing streaks and against various teams. The Knicks, 12. Detroit, 7. And then the other 3 are in the Western Conference. Lakers, 7 straight games. Denver, 5 straight games. San Antonio, 5 straight games. This isn't great. This is not confidence inspiring. Granted, the team is young in that, like, the starters haven't played a lot together, and there are some promising moments. They're not dominating, but they're in the game for 3.5 quarters, which is promising. But you're right, just that closing time, the winning time, which is the most important. Just guys were just like Karl Towns, just getting easy mid-range jumpers. How many 3-pointers did Landry Shamet shoot? I mean, he only made 2, but the guy was felt like he was open all day. And then Brunson just having his way, 26 and 10 throughout the game, even though it was kind of like an ugly 26 and 10. The guy's still just so locked in. And one other team to mention as far as like physicality, Philadelphia kind of beats up on Toronto too. And Philadelphia is either 6th or 7th. We don't want to see the Sixers in the playoffs. You know, if we're going to punch the bully in the mouth, we would love to see the New York Knicks in the first round if it's 4-5. And we absolutely got to be Ralphie from Christmas Story or a kid from Stand By Me, or what's another one where a bully gets served? Mean Girls. One of the characters gets hit by a bus. Like, we got to unlock Super Saiyan and just go, and then boom, just have a giant counter punch or an Anthony Joshua to Jake Paul's jaw, first punch or knockout punch. Yeah. So
I feel like the Raptors better hope they get Cleveland in the first round. Like, I don't.
Do we want those problems, bro?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the best of the bad options. It's the best of the bad options. Like, if you get the Knicks in the first round, the Raptors, they've still got one more game against the Knicks. So you got one more potentially belt to ass game against the Knicks before the season is done. And then if you get them in the first round, like, Raps could be the first team in NBA history to lose to an opponent 9 times in the same season. Like, go 0 for 9 against the Knicks, because I don't see any evidence that they're even going to steal one off the Knicks if they get into a first round series against them. I'm not expecting a first round win from the Raptors. I don't think that's where they're at in their development process as a team and as an organization coming out of this rebuild. But I'd like to see some level of success, and I don't have any confidence that they can do that against the Knicks. It would be 0 for 9 against the Knicks this season if that's how the story could play out. That's terrifying.
Man, that reality set in hard, and
that's where some Knicks fans go to the Raptors Wikipedia page and they change ownership to New York Knicks.
I love when that happens. I actually love that. That is the only time I like the internet. Cabbie, you brought up Mean Girls. I quickly need to mention both of you are being called out on the chat. Underneath YouTube, the Nation Network. If you're not following right now, go like and subscribe. Join our live chat, because on Wednesdays we wear pink. That is from Mean Girls.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole Mean Girls thing. And so every Wednesday, I'm not a mean girl, but I've worn pink, and they're saying
the evidence speaks to the contrary here.
No, hey, you were the one that a lady didn't want to talk to because you intimidated her, buddy.
I'm very intimidating.
But do you guys even own pink? Because I said I don't think you guys do. There's a suggestion.
I know Cab does.
We start a GoFundMe to get you guys matching pink suits.
Yeah, Cab's worn pink on the show before.
I have seen that, but do you own
pink?
I do. Maybe like an old Juventus jersey. That's pretty much. I
will accept that. I will accept that random pull.
Drake had one years ago that he wore in a social media. I have that same jersey. That's probably the only pink shirt I have in my closet.
We'll get that GoFundMe started in the chat. That was suggested to get you guys some pink. But when we talk about
more salmon than pink, to be honest.
Nice.
I'm gonna get you guys some crazy pink outfits. Do not let me do this. But as much as I love our opinions, we are great. Again, reminding everyone, it is my fault that the Raptors lost yesterday. I had to leave early. But Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter, 2 beloved former Toronto Raptors, were in the house as it was a Buffalo Bills times Raptors collaboration night. If you don't know, both of them are They own a tiny little bit of the team. I'm just going to emphasize tiny, but still more than I'll ever own. Here's what they had to say about the Raptors currently.
I actually felt like this year they should have been a lot better. If you look at their standings against their own conference, or division, I should say, they haven't fared out well against their own division, which had they played well against their own division, they'd probably be the second best team in the Eastern Conference. But that being said, they still have a lot of more improvement. They could be a scary team in the playoffs, and if they're healthy and building some momentum going into the playoffs, I think they can win a series.
But I also want to give Scottie his flowers as well, because it was his team for a long time. He was willing to sacrifice for the good of BI coming in, being himself, and look what it's done. He still became an all-star. He also brought another all-star with him.
And he might be Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year as well. So it's just the sacrifice for the good of the team. Yeah, the numbers dip, but that's the accolades now coming your way. Yeah. And you're putting your team in a position. Not a lot of teams want to see them. If they finish somewhere in the 5th spot, if I'm fourth, I don't want to see this team. Just because of how they play. Regardless of who's there or not, they play so hard, and anything can happen. So he needs to. I wanted to give him his flowers.
That makes me happy.
Vince has got a lot more confidence than I do, I guess. Anything can happen. I don't know. I feel like right now the Knicks would be like chomping at the bit to get the Raptors in the first. Oh, this is a nice warm-up series for the rest of the playoffs.
The Raptors are 4-10 against the Atlantic Division. So Tracy, if that record was flipped, then Raptors might be in, have the 3rd seed or the 2nd seed. So Tracy's right, and I love Vince for giving Scottie some flowers. I think it's still Scottie's team. BI handles a lot of the scoring, but I think it's still the heart and soul and the identity of Toronto being a up-tempo team playing great defense at times and a scrappy underdogs. I think that's Scottie Barnes' whole aura. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but that's my read on the Toronto Raptors.
BI definitely the face more so for the media. He's more willing to speak to all of us. I will put that out there, which I think is not a part of the game, but it's a part of the game. It was just interesting to hear, especially Tracy, talk about the Raptors in that way, because okay, we're all not crazy that as much as we're like, oh, they've defied all odds to be where they are right now, they could be and should be so much better, and they're not doing great against the Knicks. We'll see what happens for the rest of the week and the rest of the season. Before the game, Darko was asked about OG Anunoby having their number, and he says, we're going to hold them to 0 points. He joked about it, but when he was asked about the Knicks and the potential of taking them on in the first round, he's like, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about this game right now, because he was asked basically, would you be holding back anything in case, the Knicks would be trying
holding back some of the playbook?
The playbook.
Let's hope. That could be a good excuse for Darko, given the way the last 5 minutes went last night.
I'm trying to give you a little bit of hope right now. Is maybe in fact he was, when he said that is not the case at all.
Oh yeah, they've got the secret playbook that they haven't broke out yet. I'm sure that's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah. Playing with
next beside the secret playbook is Michael's secret stuff from Space
movie.
Jam. That's
top 5 movie of all time right there. Space Jam.
You think so?
I did not watch the second Space Jam, and I never will. You cannot force me.
Is there a second Space Jam? Oh, the one with LeBron.
I liked your first response.
Okay.
Is there a second Space Jam? Let's leave it at that.
I never watched it, so.
Oh man, we're gonna be talking about movies later in the show.
Shout out Muggsy Bogues in the first Space Jam, by the way.
Former Raptor.
Yep.
So they were there yesterday, Tracy and Vince, like I mentioned, because it was a really cool collaboration between the Bills and the Toronto Raptors, MLSE, having kind of this partnership with the Bills. And at first, I know when this was announced last summer and this was at BMO Field with the Argos, everyone's like, what are you doing? Because you're putting the CFL against the NFL. And I am sorry, as someone from Regina, Saskatchewan, who covered the Rough Riders, and it was my be-all, end-all for 15 years.
Well, it's kind of all there is to do in Regina, right?
100%.
Yeah.
My husband's going to be so mad at me for saying that. Not going to check my phone. But the NFL is superior. You can't compare the game, and I understand the CFL. They're trying to change things to make it more enjoyable. But I question this partnership. But yesterday, you had the Bills mascot, the Raptors mascot, dressed up in each other's team colors and jerseys. You had former and current members of Bills Mafia there. You had so many Bills fans that actually make the commute who were not planted, by the way. And I thought it was really interesting. They were wearing like their Bills jerseys. You could hear a lot of chatter about their hopes for them next season. And so I think this was like a 10 out of 10 collaboration. I'll let you guys think about another collaboration that either went well or went terribly. But here is what Tracy and Vince had to say about Josh Allen. Being a part of Bills Mafia, I actually just want to start off talking about Josh Allen. What was it like for you guys to watch his season and the athlete that he is?
Yeah, he's amazing. Obviously, I think the thing that sticks out to me is just, the toughness, the relentlessness. And, we were at the playoff game in Jacksonville, and if you was at that game live, you really saw his toughness on display because they were trying to kill him. And they were trying to kill him. And I don't even know how he just kept getting up from that. But, when you have his mindset, his leadership ability, you can't do nothing but respect that. And I'm glad he's part of, our group.
I asked him this in the summer. Are you going to sacrifice your body for Bills Mafia and jump in a table?
You got to ask.
No, I've already told him I was going to do it. Yeah. Right now I can't do it. I feel like, well, we're going to build it up to that.
They brought the vibes. Vince dealing with he knew the media.
Yeah.
Tracy wasn't so happy to be doing the media, but you can watch the full interview between them or the scrum where they talk about how Vince actually went with Tracy into the Bills locker room and spoke to the rookies about what it's like to be an athlete and, the pitfalls, but also the highs and lows of it all. I'm like, that is really interesting. So go watch that full interview on YouTube underneath the Nation Network.
I want to see T-Mac fall through a table, though. Like, I want to see
Vince to push him.
I want to see Vince powerbomb his cousin through a flaming table, because that would just be the most incredible. Like, we want to talk about collaborations. All right, let's see the owners really join Bills Mafia. You know what I'm saying? And like power bomb your cousin, just like most of us would do with, brothers and other family. Yeah. Power bomb them through a table. It has to be a flaming table to really make it real, because then you're really part of Bills Mafia.
Wait, do they?
I think like either one or both, just for the Raptors fan base, just to get a little bit of catharsis,
yes.
Just because they both left. I mean,
yes,
I know they're on like a bit of a Vince is on a bit of a redemption tour, and Tracy's been like, Tracy never said like, well, no, I wanted to leave, I wanted to go be my own dude. But if they both powerbomb each other, maybe we'd feel a measure of satisfaction seeing that.
Kyle Lowry, like an elbow from the top of a truck, like through the table. Like, okay, now we're talking.
JYD in there too. JYD should powerbomb both Vince and Tracy under each arm. Like, you gotta maybe have a row of tables. Like, just hit Home Depot. Just go buy the whole section of foldable, collapsible tables. Bring them into the parking lot, and then have them jump off a Winnebago and just have some explosions and pyro afterwards. Just make it a whole show.
I mean, they do have the WWE collaboration on top of this, so I feel like, all of this is a seamless collab for all the different brands.
We only give good ideas on Off the Roster, and if you're going to use them, please give us a commission on this. But an idea that might be going south in the NBA, by the way, we are going to have a 3-time NHL Stanley Cup champ on in just a moment to talk about some highs and lows in the NHL. But when we talk about collaborations, we mentioned this earlier this week on Off the Roster, how the Atlanta Hawks are having like a fun collaboration night.
Oh, yeah.
Fun with a strip club there.
Mm-hmm.
Known to many as Magic City. We learned a lot about stripping and all that stuff. And so they're giving out a hoodie that says Magic City. T.I. is performing at halftime. But now multiple NBA players have come out to say they are not happy with this collaboration and it's not good for them. And
think of the children.
Yeah, won't somebody think of the children? Finally, I got a Simpsons reference.
Yes, you did.
Other than that, I'm like 0 for 100 in our group chat. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I didn't expect this reaction. Did you guys kind of think some of the players, like Al Horford, one of them, like quote tweeting another player's like letter to the league saying like, what are we doing here?
How are we letting this happen?
Yeah.
It is a strange one. I would say not knowing the entirety of history amongst team promotions, I would probably guess and feel pretty confident that this is the first ever collab with an adult entertainment establishment. So that's probably, I feel pretty safe in saying that. And so I'm not surprised that there is some pushback on this. I think you of all people from Regina, Saskatchewan should know this, Lindsay.
Think of the children. I know.
If a kid asks his parents, like it says Magic City, like where magic happens, which it does for some people.
That makes it worse.
This is just a place for adults. That's it. Like, just say, oh yeah, it's a place for adults. What do you mean it's for adults? Well, it's just a place where adults go. Kids have playgrounds. Adults have a different kind of playground. That's it. That's all you got. That's all you got to tell little Johnny or Tanisha. That's it. You know what I mean? Simple.
Can I take it too far, guys?
Yes,
Some
of course.
NBA teams, not the Raptors, their dancers look like strippers.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah.
they
Now
look
you've
like
crossed the
That's
line.
probably too far. Yeah,
that was probably too far.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
This was the line.
I
You
always
crossed
go
it.
over, but I will never forget. I was at a certain arena, and my friend Amy Otterward, at the time, she was a sideline reporter for the Raptors. Now she's an analyst for the Miami Heat, and one of the dancers was right beside us and doing like the hair whips over and over, and she was getting whipped in the face by the hair, and like her, it was just such a sight. Like, this might be the greatest day of my life right now. But yeah, I know too far, people. Come at me in the comments. But yeah, it's just interesting. I loved the Bills one. I think the Magic City one with Atlanta, it's fun. It's different. I know. Yeah, I for some reason didn't think that the players would be doing it. But hey. Or
yeah, Luke Cornett, like, go sit down, bro. Al Horford, go sit down. Like, this is in
you.
baseball parlance, this is called eyewash. Like, you're just doing something to be seen, and you don't actually. It doesn't mean anything. This is just some fake virtue signaling. Like, relax, bro. I'm sure, if the walls in your condo when you played in Atlanta, Al Horford could talk, like, they'd be singing a different tune than they are right now. As far as collabs go, this isn't exactly like a local brand or two teams collaborating. But when Dan mentioned Juventus earlier, the first time Paris Saint-Germain unveiled their Jordan kits, I was like, this is fire. Just the Paris with the jump, like the Jumpman logo, that was merch that everybody needed. And I think Neymar and Kylian Mbappe were on the squad at the time. I can't was Messi there too? No.
Messi might have been there too. Yeah, I think that's around the same time.
And Tony, that kit was in the culture. Like sweatshirts or jerseys. You just had to get some of that merch because it was so fire. Clean design, but just it really popped. I know it's not quite like two teams collaborating, but that's the first one that popped into mind. It was like 21 or 22-ish is when that first. I think that's when that first was unveiled.
Well, I'm excited for our collaboration that's happening right now with a 3-time Stanley Cup champion.
Let's go!
Analyst for MSG Network and NHL Network. And, of course, we're talking about Ken Daneyko. Welcome to the show
Let's
today.
go. Good morning,
Ken.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys? I'm on. I didn't realize it. I'm kind of out of it still this morning, but all good. Great to be on.
And he's wearing a Jordan cap.
answer.
Look at that. Look at the synergy.
Oh
between
yeah,
our
you caught that, right?
Yeah, nice work.
I've played there a few times. Played there during the Olympic break, and what an atmosphere there. And I did see the great Michael Jordan and got to say hello. So that's always exciting. We're fans too, and one of the great athletes of all time. So it was pretty cool.
Wait, are you trying to say that you were golf gambling with Michael Jordan recently?
No,
is that what I'm hearing here, Ken?
No, there. I don't have deep enough pockets, guys. And if my game was a little better, I think I might take a risk. But
amazing stuff. Okay, before we get into it, Ken, because in prepping for the interview last night, I was going through it and I counted 5 fights that you had with Maple Leafs head coach Craig Berube. Like, did you guys? I mean, we have some viz of some of it too. Did you guys really hate each other that much? I mean, this was you guys had quite the rivalry going.
Well, as you guys know, there's one right there. Yeah, Craig, first and foremost, we're good friends now. I have such respect for him. In fact, before the season, I did a little shoot commercial type thing with Craig Berube, Rob Ray, Ty Domi, Joe Kosher. Who am I missing? And I had danced with all of them at least once, and that was never very fun because those guys were tough guys. But you find out you're all so competitive at the end of the day, and you're a lot alike after your career's over and you get along and do some charity work together. But yeah, Craig was a tough customer, but division rival. When the game was played that way, we went at it a few times, and I'm just happy I'm still kind of in one piece, I believe. My wife might beg to differ, but Craig was one of the toughest that ever played the game, and I have a lot of respect for him.
Ken, if we could stick along that line for one moment. So Jack Hughes making headlines, obviously, for his amazing goal that helped them get gold, but he also is missing half a chiclet or two, which I know in your career, you have an amazing, beautiful smile right now. But I heard rumors at times when, you didn't have your front two chiclets and you had those like replacement teeth.
Yes.
You leave them at the arena from time to time. Is this true?
Oh, you did your homework. You definitely did your homework. Yeah, I always say I officially, unofficially, and before or after Bobby Clarke was probably the guy at the end of the day and the end of his career was missing more teeth than anybody, 13 to be exact, after my last game, hoisting a Stanley Cup in Game 7 of 2003, and which I was grateful to go out on top, every athlete's dream. But that smile with no teeth, and I did. I used to take my teeth out for the game, and whether it was in Chicago, Minnesota, you name it, they used to always call my trainer and say, Daneyko left his teeth again. We're sending it out overnight. And I go, damn, I forgot my teeth again. How am I going to eat? But that was all part of it. I would change all those chiclets for success and whatever it took to try to win the ultimate goal of the Stanley Cup. And yeah, Jack Hughes a little prettier than me, but I didn't know he wanted to replicate me or look like me a little bit. And I guess it was all worth it for him as well, with that great big smile after going down in history. He'll always be etched in history with the golden goal for Team USA at the Olympics.
Well, absolutely. And you have a similar experience of when you won the Stanley Cup. You had to do this crazy media tour. We have a photo of you on David Letterman for one of the times you won the Cup. And so Hughes right now is on like this late night tour. He's on morning shows, all of this during the season. What do you remember about the chaos of all the extra media and appearances of when you won the Stanley Cup? Because I can't imagine for Jack right now during the season, all of the extra requests.
Well, first off, my longtime boss and general manager would never have let that happen during the season. So that's why we did our whirlwind tour after the season.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's great for the game, and it puts eyes on our great game of hockey. And there's nothing more exciting than Canada and USA playing. We saw it at Four Nations. We saw it at the gold medal game at the Olympics. And Jack Hughes has got such a great personality that I'm not sure, guys, who's gone more viral. You can maybe tell me. Punch the Monkey in Japan or Jack Hughes over the last couple of weeks. And you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean,
of course. Got to be honest, though, Ken. I wasn't expecting a Punch the Monkey reference from you.
Are you kidding me? I'm following Punch like crazy. I mean, I love animals. We all do. And I love Jack Hughes. And what an exciting moment. I mean, he's been on Jimmy Fallon and so
SNL.
many different SNL, shall I say? Yeah, absolutely. So he's done quite a bit, and again, we want to see the personality of players, and his great brother, one of the best that's in the game, and Quinn Hughes. We want to see those guys' personality and grow our great game, and just the skill and speed of today's game. I've evolved. I enjoy it as much as anything. People ask me, guys, about my era. Could I play in today's game? And I go, listen, the training and technology, everything's different, and the mindset was so different. I love my era, and having to be nervous night before a game, having to probably know I'm going to fight Craig Berube if we were playing the next night. That was all part of it. And I loved it. You'd be nervous and even a little fear once in a while. But now I said it was just total different training. My training in the day in the 80s was going to the boxing gym because I knew I had to play that tough guy role every once in a while, or physicality and protect teammates. And I said I would have trained differently. So it's comparing apples and oranges. My time was my time. I loved it. In today's game, these guys have skills coaches, and it's all about edge work and skating and puck handling. And it's remarkable the skill of these guys. Speaking of the Hughes brothers and company, and so many greats like McDavid and Matthews. I mean, I love watching them play, and I don't need to see a fight every night. But yeah, I was a good player when I was young. I'm saying, of course I could play because I would have trained differently. Or that's what I want to think anyway.
Yeah, and then Scott Neidermayer stole all your power play one time, right?
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, Nieder, one of the greats, a dear friend, and I just love the guy, and he made the game look effortless. I'll tell you a funny story with him when he was a rookie. I mean, we had one of those so-called bag skates, playing bad for a couple of games, no pucks when they did it back in the day, and blue line, red line, all the way down and back, and Jacques Lemaire had us doing all these skates. And I come in the dressing room after an hour of that, and no pucks, lie on the floor. I'm drenched like I just came out of the shower, exhausted. All of a sudden, this young 19-year-old kid comes walking in, takes his jersey and shoulder pads off, and all he has is one little teardrop of sweat right here. And I look at him and I go, "Are you kidding me, Needs? That wasn't hard for you?" And he goes, "Not bad, kind of hard. He just didn't want to embarrass all of us, in particular me." It was effortless to him because he was floating on top of the ice with his great skating ability and agility, and we're digging into the ice. So just one of the greats, and I got to play with him for a long time as a D partner, and I knew what to do. Stay back, protect him once in a while, and when I had the puck, look for him. So that was pretty simple game.
Pass it to Scott. That's the way to go.
Pass it to Scott. He'll get it out of harm's way.
So on the Devils this year, Kenny, and it's much like the Leafs season. It's kind of gone unexpectedly and maybe not meeting expectations. And a lot of the first half of the season, I think the eye of the storm was on Jack Hughes a little bit. Some of the unfortunate injuries he had, and he's a high bar of expectation from Devils fans. I wonder how that golden goal has kind of reset everything and hopefully allowing him to kind of grow back into the player that he can be and the star that the Devils need him to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things we can talk about, and not excuses about what went wrong this year in New Jersey with high expectations, and we obviously know goals have been hard to come by. They sit at the bottom of the league, which is just mind-boggling to me because every single top guy collectively, not that they haven't played decent hockey at times, just haven't been able to finish. And it all coincided November 12th in Chicago when the Devils were, I believe at the time, first place in the Metro, and Jack Hughes went down with that freakish injury and cut fingers. So it really set them back as far as where everybody was slotted. I mean, he just makes everybody around him better. And even when he came back, it took him some time, 10, 12 games, because he had a protective cast type thing or protection for his hand. And let's face it, his game's all about his hands, his mind, and his skating ability. And now he's kind of, since the Olympics, he had such a great performance and rounding into form again. And for the last two games anyway, the team looks like the team we envisioned all season long. I'm going, where was this? I mean, now they're all slotted well, all four lines contributing. Luke Hughes is a big part of that. He got healthy, and he slots the defenseman pairings better because he is the best skater on the back end, such an important element. But Jack, make no mistake, he's the catalyst for this team. He's playing good hockey. He's got a point a game so far, even with his injuries, and it looks like he hasn't even hit the tip of the iceberg when he's healthy. I mean, he's going to be a 100-plus point guy if he can play an entire season the next handful of years. But they need him. He's been terrific as of late, and obviously the excitement and everything you guys mentioned, the media tour and so much going on personally in his life. But he wants nothing more, and he's mentioned it many times to lead this Devils team back to dominance or back to what we used to be a little bit, and that was vying for Stanley Cups. And this league's tough. The competitive balance is off the charts, and yeah, they haven't met expectations this year, but I'm going by recently. In the last 2 games, they've been more fun to watch again, guys, and it's usually led by the catalyst, Jack Hughes. Just a terrific young man and great player.
Ken, Cabbie here. Good morning. I'm going to follow Dan here with as both the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New Jersey Devils, who were a year ago, the Leafs win the Atlantic Division, the Devils are in the playoffs, and this year it's like the other side of the coin. But when teams are underperforming, is it spoken or unspoken by team personnel, front office, whatever, that this final stretch of the season is going to be a showcase or even an audition for other teams for UFAs?
Well, yeah, great question. I mean, look, and I'm just going from experience in my playing days, and the deadline's always a, nervous time for a lot of players. Teams trying to prove if you're in the playoffs and you think you got a shot to win the ultimate goal, or if you're a team that hasn't met expectations like the Leafs and Devils, where now you think you're open to business, you're open-minded to anything along the way because you have to get better, and it's nerve-wracking for players, I think, a little bit. But from the flip side, understandable from the standpoint that it's a business. These guys understand that, and I don't know exactly where I was going with this, but just the fact that you've got to take a look at what's going to improve your team, and the Devils are no different. They're going to listen. Again, for me personally, I think you've got to balance that and be a little bit careful, because I still like a lot of their core. And there's been talk about, do they need to change like the Leafs did last year and when Marner left? Do they need to mix that up and change one of their core pieces? And I'd be careful, because they still have a lot of good players there that I just feel it was one of those years that what could and would go wrong or did. And that these guys have a lot of pride. But as a player, you're always playing like you have an opportunity, that you can go on this magical run. So you always have to believe. I mean, you hear fans, you hear media at times, well, it might be better for the team to tank because then they got a better odds of getting higher up in the draft. Players never think like that. They're thinking about their job, kind of alluding to what you're saying. But I got to play my best here if I want to be part of the solution moving forward with my organization. And yes, there's a lot of teams around the National Hockey League watching you every step of the way, that if in fact you're the player that doesn't fit into your team, but you still want to perform to your highest level to make sure you're in the National Hockey League the following year. I guess that's kind of the way I look at it.
On our show, we like to celebrate, the gritty players, grinders, and we often champion like players who play in the bottom 6. So Cody Glass, who's tied his career high in goals with 14 goals. As a defenseman, what makes him so challenging to get away from the front of the net?
Well, he's a smart hockey player, and then, we can't forget he was a high draft pick this year, a handful of years ago, with the Vegas Golden Knights. And some players, for whatever reason, it's always about finding consistency as a young player, or opportunity, or a nice fit. And it takes some guys longer than others to really find their game. But I think he's settled in here in New Jersey. And there's been rumors his name's on the block. Yeah, why not? Because teams would be very interested. I certainly don't want to see the Devils get rid of Cody Glass, because I think he's finally finding his niche, what he's capable of in the National Hockey League. He's a big guy. He's rangy. He is tough to move around the net. He's got great hand-eye coordination. Scored a nice tip goal last night against the Florida Panthers. But he's an intelligent player that plays a 200-foot game. So those guys are hard to find. I'm keeping Cody Glass. That's just my opinion. I know you have to keep open-minded if you're the general manager in New Jersey or in Toronto, and everybody's up for the taking if it's the right deal. But we've heard some rumors with Cody Glass, and for the Devils, for me, I'm keeping the guy. I think he's part of the solution moving forward and going into next season.
It feels like he's found a good home there in New Jersey. Last question for me for you, Ken. You won Stanley Cups in 95, 2000, and 2003. And if the Stanley Cup trophy itself could talk, which one of those years would it have called HR and called the Hockey Hall of Fame and said, listen, get me out of here. This ish is too intense. I need to come home immediately.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, you do have a lot of fun with that Stanley Cup one tonight. And it's no question the 1995 team. That was a crazy.
How so? And why?
Well, I mean, everybody liked to party. Everybody was great. So that group we likened us. I don't know if this is a compliment, but we had a little bit of 1986 New York Mets in us. We had a wild bunch.
Oh,
but
yes. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there, if the walls
amazing.
could talk, that we did some crazy stuff that year. And I think that, believe it or not, guys, that was the first year that the Stanley Cup had a cup keeper, because the Rangers had beaten it up so much before '94 in New York there, and that was a crazy group of guys, because I know a lot of those players as well that they protected it. But I will tell you, the allotment is 24 hours for each player, and I used it for 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds without sleep.
I can imagine you had the best time. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
that's what it's all about. Once you win it, celebrating with your teammates, and that was just a group of guys I loved. I mean, everyone was different. And 2000, I always say, was our most complete team, our most talented team, our best team. I mean, we could beat you any which way. 95 was a lunch pail group that came close in 94 in an epic series against the Rangers, and they went on to win the Cup that year, as everybody knows. And we lost to them in the Eastern Conference Finals in double overtime in Game 7. One of the greatest playoff series ever played. Had a little bit of everything, all the Hall of Famers and everything else. But that 2000 team, we could play it any way you wanted it. We had skill, we had speed, we had toughness. We had the great Marty Brodeur, and that team, we were just loaded for bear. But 95, we were ready to turn on the switch come playoff time, because we had some unfinished business with the same group from 94 that we were able to do. And we only lost 4 games in the playoffs that year, went 16-4, swept the mighty Detroit Red Wings, who were heavily favored in the finals. But that was a crazy group of characters, the Randy McKays and our role players. You talk about bottom 6 guys, and our fourth line, Randy McKay, who had no fear, would fight anybody, scored 8 goals that year in the playoffs. So that was the balance we had. Bobby O'Leary was on the fourth line. He was 6'4", 235 pounds, just a menace with skill. I mean, that's a load. That's tough to beat when your fourth line is those guys. And I always have such respect. We have the great Hall of Famers like Stevens and Neidermayer and Brodeur, obviously, and those guys lead the way. But you don't win Stanley Cups or go 4 grueling rounds without those meat and potato guys, I like to call them, those guys that do all the dirty work. And I have such respect for players like that along the way.
Well, Ken, I'm going to call you Kenny because Dan called you Kenny, and I feel like he did, so I can.
I like
on the
Kenny.
same show. Kenny, we appreciate your time. I'm going to end off with a question that is for scientific research that I am doing.
You don't want to use my brain for scientific research, I don't know what you'd find in there.
Fun and good times.
Yeah, it's fun. Have you ever seen the movie Shrek?
Of course, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Killing
Come on,
me.
Linz.
We appreciate you. I've never seen it, and I'm going to get absolutely roasted when you're off this call, but we appreciate you today, Kenny. We hope you have a great day. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. A lot of fun. Have a great day.
Thanks, Kenny. Cheers.
Oh, my face hurts from smiling so much from that. What an amazing and funny human being. So yeah, this was brought up earlier this week by Cabbie, how I've never seen Shrek. When we were just, talking before the show, I'm like, yeah, I've never saw it. And you guys had the exact same reaction that our new best friend Kenny had, that you're like, what? How have you never seen it? The reason I learned that this is actually a bit of an issue, I was at the Blue Jays game sometime last season. I was speaking to one of the awesome young ushers, and they were talking about Shrek. I'm like, oh, I've never seen it. They just gave me this weird look, like, what is wrong with you, person?
Yeah.
And then
Totally normal
asked,
reaction.
Yeah. Everybody around me did not matter, like age, whatever, however they identify, wherever they were from. Every single person, young or old, watch Shrek. So then it was my mission for anybody that I would interview to ask them, hey, have you seen Shrek? I can't be the only one that's never seen Shrek. I asked so many people that I can't remember even where half the videos are, including Max Scherzer roasting me. So here's a little bit of what happened. Scientific research. Have you ever seen the movie Shrek?
Yes.
I have seen it.
Have you seen the movie Shrek?
Of course.
I can't find another person that hasn't watched it. It's just me.
Have you not watched it?
Oh, yeah.
Shrek. Yes, I have.
I think I've seen I don't know how many there are, but I know I've seen 2.
I'm trying to find one person who hasn't.
Oh, it's impossible. No.
What is
going on?
I have seen the movie Shrek.
I have. Yes, I have.
Of course, I know it. Everybody knows it.
I love the Shreks. That's what I grew up on.
Have you seen the movie Shrek? No. You have not.
Have you ever seen the movie Shrek?
Yes.
God.
You need to go home and watch Shrek 1, 2. I don't know how many they got. 1, 2, maybe 3.
I've watched Shrek. It's a classic.
Maybe like a new Gen Z person, but a young person.
Have you watched the movie Shrek?
Not in its entirety. I don't even know what it's about. I just know the guy's green. I know that my ex-wife's dad used to drink scotch and cry to it, which is so dark. And I know that my kids love it.
What's kept you from watching it?
What's...
I may have hit a nerve.
Did he ever? What was the answer to the question? Why did he get? What's kept him from watching it?
He's like, he just hasn't got around to it.
Yeah.
But it took me 5 months. Like, I would sometimes interview maybe 5-6 people a day. It was always yes. What's wrong with you? And like,
Yes.
those are, every single person was either like an elite athlete or like Lainey Wilson. She's a Grammy Award winning top country artist who like, it just went on and on where they would just shade me. Like, you have amazing Canadian tennis and golfers being like, what is wrong with you? The
Lainey
conversation
Wilson
would go
ripping
on.
you in a
Oh,
southern
yeah.
accent made it that much better.
Oh, yeah.
too.
And then, like,
So-
Brian Adams
Yeah,
being
it
like,
sounded
of
like
course I
music.
saw this. I had no idea. As it celebrates 25 years, I'm really out of touch.
Yeah.
But when I told one of my former coworkers about this, because they were there when I interviewed Don Mattingly, decided to tell me the whole plot. I managed to go 24 years without knowing anything, same as the Black Keys guy. So my question to you guys, besides, yes, I know, I'm crazy, what do you think is the most overrated movie? Because I'm adding Shrek to it, even though I've not watched it yet.
What, you can't add Shrek to
I
it.
know.
You
I just
haven't
wanted
seen
to
the
get you
movie.
angry.
You haven't even seen it. How can you
just
call it
wanted to get-
overrated?
I just wanted to get
What are
Cabbie
we talking?
heated.
What are we doing here?
You're literally the only person on the planet who hasn't watched it, and people who were born yesterday.
And
That's
the Black
like,
Keys
that's it.
guy, who apparently just makes him sad because his former father-in-law would have scotch and cry while watching it. But I just wanted to
How
get
do you cry
Cabbie
watching
heated.
Donkey? I don't quite get that. Okay, this is my most overrated movie of all time. I don't know if I'm going with maybe an unpopular opinion on this.
Okay, I'm ready.
Because when you're 18, 19, 20 and you first watch the movie, you think it is the greatest movie of all time. But I'm telling you, if you go and watch Scarface now, you will hate it.
Oh, okay.
You will hate it. Well, you won't hate it, but it's not nearly as good as you think it is. As a movie, it is not nearly as good as you think it is or as you remember it when you watched it as, a late teenager or something, whatever. Like, yeah, sure, some of the great moments, some of the great lines in the movie, unbelievable. Yes. But as a movie, it's very overrated.
Can I add one thing? Dan came up. This movie was planted into Dan's mind about 3 minutes ago when Ken Daneyko said, we had a lot of 1986 Mets in us. And we know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, did someone miss the parade because Darryl Strawberry did? And I think Doc Gooden missed the parade too.
Yeah.
What an admission. That was just fantastic. So we know why Dan's got Scarface on the mind, because someone, maybe it was Randy McKay, was Tony bleeping Montana in 1995
very
from
true.
June 14th
That was
to,
amazing.
August 31st. So
Wow.
go ahead, Dan. Continue.
Can't confirm. I'm done. This
Do
is.
you want to try him on doing cocaine? Because
I'm good. We'll leave that.
Amazing.
We'll leave that to Cap.
Great acting. So, Cabbie, do you have a movie you think is overrated, or you can go underrated?
This movie had critical acclaim, and it's not technically underrated. I just think it's not as celebrated as it should be, and that's the movie Parasite. It won Best Picture in 2018 or 19. It is, I say this without exaggeration, it is the perfect movie. So Parasite is my most underrated, or maybe under-celebrated film. Overrated? I had one just, it was, oh my gosh. You know what else is also underrated? Batman versus Superman. Gets a ton of flack, but rewatch, like Batman vs. Superman, pretty good. Like Ben Affleck and I can't remember who plays Superman now. They had to Photoshop out his mustache because he, for some reason, kept the mustache. He was filming Mission Impossible 6 and wouldn't get rid of the friggin' mustache. And they had to do, or maybe it was for Justice League. Either way, Batman vs. Superman, I think, is underrated.
I love that you guys came with relevant and current movies. Somewhat like Scarface.
Oh,
like
Scarface
people
is not
know,
very
like,
relevant.
Sorry, I know. I take that
It's
back.
from 1983.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just was like the
Shout out Bong Joon-ho, though. You're right on that, Cap. Very underrated. And as a director, fantastic. Mickey 17 was very good.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
that out there.
I have to see that one.
Have either of you seen the movie Deer Hunter from 1977? Yeah, I hate that movie.
Michael
I think
Cimino
it is so overrated. It is 87 years too long. I wanted
It
to
is a
punch
long
myself
film.
in the face probably every 15 minutes. I'm like, how is this still happening? And then I'm watching, I'm like, did we really need half of this? And it is so critically acclaimed and beloved. What is it, like TMC, the movie channel? Constantly will play it. People talk about it. Critics still talk about the art of this movie, and I want it to stop being spoken about. I want it to stop being screened. People can still get the residuals in the mail. I do not care, but that movie is so overrated, like popcorn. Stop with it, people.
Well, okay, so we're not. You're not gonna slander popcorn. Popcorn is absolutely delicious. I had some yesterday with my 3-year-old and my 2-year-old. Probably shouldn't have given my 2-year-old popcorn, but I'm not a great dad. But the scene that's famous in Deer Hunter is the Russian roulette scene with Robert De Niro when he goes to get. Oh, you hate the movie, so I don't know why I'm bringing it up. But for people who haven't seen the movie, and John Voight, I think, and he's playing Russian roulette in, I want to say like Vietnam, and it's a very intense boiler room type of scene, and he's like lost his marbles. But Russian roulette is obviously a life or death game, and I think that's like the iconic scene from that film. I haven't seen it since like '96 when Anand Virk, myself, and my friend RT Thorne, we were like film nerds, and we remember you can get 7 videos for 7 days from Rogers.
Yes.
And it was like basically $1 a movie. And Deer Hunter came, it was 2 VHS cassettes. That's how long the film was, pushing the 3 hours. But yeah, anyway, there was iconic scene, maybe not an iconic movie, but I recognize Lindsay's hate of that particular film because it moves at a glacial pace.
It did take.
I forgot, like,
the Rogers video
you said
reference.
Rogers, I forgot that the like corporate overlord. I'm saying that no one else on the show was a place you could rent videos from. I actually shook. I'm like, I never put that together until this moment that they used to rent videos.
I was a Blockbuster guy, so I don't know. Yeah.
Can I read some responses from the chat for you guys of what's overrated and underrated? We love
Justin,
the chat.
big disagree on The Hangover.
The
being
Hangover,
overrated.
oh my gosh, said
Come
it's overrated.
on.
Only lasted 20 minutes. I disagree. Even the little soundtrack
Huge disagree.
of like
Get out of here
What
with
do
that.
tigers dream of when they dream? Yeah, or like we're the three best friends. I'm gonna
anyone could have.
Yeah,
yes.
and that's me, you, and Cabbie. Like
Yes.
that song is us. I would have your guys' back in Vegas all day, every day. And then another one. Okay, we have Carlito's Way over Scarface. Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair,
Die Hard
yeah.
is a cool film. However, definitely ain't a Christmas film. I know that's not saying overrated, but I will say the Christmas chat is overrated when it comes to that film. The Shadow with Alec Baldwin, underrated. Never heard of it. Have either of
Really?
you guys heard of this? I am not.
Yeah,
cool.
it was.
I don't know
It was
anything.
like it was a superhero movie. The Shadow's based on a comic book movie, superhero, whatever.
Yeah.
In like 95 or 96, when Alec Baldwin was one of the hottest actors in Hollywood. It goes from was it not Crimson Tide? It was Hunt for Red October, something else than The Shadow. He had a good run. I think he was married to Kim Basinger at the time, who was an absolute 17 out of 10. Just salute to Kim Basinger. Whew. And then LA Confidential too.
Oh yeah.
Chef's
LA
kiss.
Confidential.
Yeah, yeah, no. First of all, I'm not wrong. Obviously, a jousting game, Deer Hunter, overrated. I will find you in the parking lot wherever you live in the world, and I will take you down. We will play Russian roulette, just like in that movie.
Please,
Well,
no.
Maybe
Maybe
do
with
that.
Nerf.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Maybe with
no, I wouldn't. I somehow cut myself on purpose, but not on purpose, on my hands because I'm so terrible with that stuff. There were some other ones in here that were just making me laugh. Goonies from our intern Joe, saying that it is underrated, and hey, you guys totally disagree with your trash take.
I'm kind of surprised our intern Joe has even watched the Goonies. You know, the movie's probably double
Goonies
his
feels
age.
properly rated.
Goonies definitely feels properly rated.
We have a fight. Obviously, a jousting game has accepted my duel in the chat. I'm here for this, guys. My money is on whoever you are behind the keyboard, but let's go with my money is on you guys for giving a great ProLine pick. Let's go.
Oh, here we
because
go. Okay.
The new ProLine app is here. Betting online with ProLine Plus and betting in store with ProLine are both easier than ever with the new ProLine app. More sports, more leagues, and more markets than ever now with more ways to same game parlay. Dan, get us some money.
Okay, we are looking for a slump buster tonight, and Austin Matthews also looking for a slump buster. Maybe that's the New Jersey Devils, as captain has gone 8 games without a goal. He's going to get on the mark here tonight. Saw a lot of players that were in the Olympics get off the schneid last night. Quinn Hughes, amongst others, getting their first goal since coming back. I think Austin Matthews does that for the Leafs tonight against the New Jersey Devils. We've got him for an anytime goal.
Great pick. These are for entertainment purposes only. Also, to add to your Austin Matthews note, in 22 career games against the New Jersey Devils, he scored 21 times. So nice pick, Dan. I'm going to your former squad, the Vancouver Canucks, are just speed racing to the end of the season because homies just can't wait to get out of there. They've lost 6 straight. They're facing the Carolina Hurricanes, who are in Vancouver tonight. Sebastian Aho is the leader of the top team in the Eastern Conference. He scored in 5 of his last 7 games. Give me a Sebastian Aho anytime goal for the Carolina Hurricanes in Vancouver tonight.
You know what I'm here for right now? Cabbie and I roasting you about your weird ass algorithm. Let's get to it, Dan. To the chat.
What's going on, dude?
Yeah, welcome to our group chat where Dan started it off at 7 a.m. for us. I think 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or whatever time for Cabbie, where he sent us this photo of a video game that is My Little Puppy. Dan, explain this, and then we need to go to the message.
I just saw a tweet. Okay. I don't know how it happened, how it ended up on my algorithm, but the tweet came from like Nintendo, like specifically Nintendo, with a trailer of this game, and it's about a puppy in the afterlife trying to find his father or his grandfather. I'm like, man, this is who's making a video game about this? Why does the dog have to be dead? Why are we in the afterlife? I'm still traumatized by All Dogs Go to Heaven. So like now, all of a sudden, I've got this thing on my timeline about a dead corgi looking for his father in heaven. What's going on? I don't need this in my life. Can we not have dreamt up a different story, a more happy storyline where they're not in the afterlife? I don't want any part of this.
And my question in the group chat was, how does how does your algorithm have content that is for 8-year-olds? Like, what corner of the internet are you in, bro?
I don't even know, man. Okay, the Twitter For You page is just like it's.
Mine is basketball and baseball, buddy.
Okay.
And then my Instagram is all corgis. So I was like, oh, I love this whatever video game. And then when I saw what it was about, I hated it. But the message everyone that he sent after had to do with a strip club.
Well,
so you go from 8 years old to at least 18-year-olds making those dollar bills drop.
At least 18,
Yes.
yeah. What a timeline cleanser.
Yeah.
All kinds of all ends of the spectrum. You know, I like to be well rounded in my news briefs on the algorithm.
You need a reset, bro.
It's very true.
I'm going to buy that game, though. I'll be honest. I was really happy when you sent it with the corgi. And then when Cabbie made the point, I was like, I never even thought, why the hell do you have 8-year-old content on your feed?
Well, I've got nieces and nephews. I'm never buying them that game. That's that much I know.
That's not what's
It could be
going on.
traumatizing.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys joining us. We still have a couple great shows this week. More NHL Deadline. But Dan, you are heading to a moment that hopefully is franchise altering for TFC.
Let's hope for TFC's sake. The last couple of seasons haven't gone that great. But the latest in the bloody big deal signing, I guess, the latest bloody big deal signing, throwing it back to Jermaine Defoe in 2014. I know it's a long time ago. But Josh Sargent, biggest MLS transfer in history, and it's to Toronto FC. So he's being introduced today. We'll go down there and see what he has to say about being the newest member of the Reds.
And Cabbie, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you have booked an awesome guest also for NHL Talk tomorrow. But it is tomorrow, not Friday, because I can't remember what day we're doing.
It's tomorrow. Yes, it's tomorrow. Yeah, Kevin Weeks joins the show from ESPN and the NHL Network. He will be fielding a bunch of our questions and maybe giving us a little preview of some of the players that might be moved on before or on March the 6th. So Kevin Weeks will join us tomorrow on Off the Roster. Looking forward to it.
I love this. I'm so excited for this. I'm going to continue to fight people in the chat. So thank you for joining us for Off the Roster. Lover, not a fighter.
Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more Off the Roster content, make sure to like and hype this video and subscribe to the Nation Network YouTube channel.